Good night, Facebook. Good night, YouTube. I am Mei-Ling Miller. I'm a community counselor. I am a crisis intervention specialist. I'm a twin flame and also a leader in the spiritual community. Obviously, I don't look so happy because I am not happy with what's going on in our country, and I'm referring to the U.S. So this is my third video, English video, in my channel. Most of my videos are in Spanish, and they are mainly focused to a Spanish-speaking audience, mainly Latinos. But because I do know that Latinos in the U.S., especially in the U.S., third and fourth generation mostly, they do not speak Spanish. So some of them can understand it, but they are not fluent in the language. So because of that lack of fluency, I just wanted to address certain matters for the non-Spanish speaking audience. It doesn't have to be Latino. I mean, there are other people that also follow me from other countries, and they don't speak Spanish. They also speak English. So for those of you who are watching me for the first time, I'm Puerto Rican, born and raised in the island, and have been living in the States for a while though. And right now, with the pandemic, I started a series of videos, like I said, mostly in Spanish. But I did one when it started, when the pandemic started 9 months ago. And it's called, I think it's titled, What is the Coronavirus Bringing? Or What Does It Bring? Or something like that. I can't remember the exact title. You can look it up in my video channel. It's there in my library. And then the other one was 7 months ago, and it has to do with 4 main visions that I've been having since last year, 2020. One of them was the fact that I was seeing riots, and I was seeing that the government was unstable and was there was some kind of aggressive, violent protest. And it turned into a riot. And then other visions that I've been having has to do with war. Now, I do see a war, and it's international. I do see people that are getting involved in a civil war as well. So I do see something coming to the country, something big coming to the country. It is political, and it also has social and economic matters involved, but it's mainly politics. What happened today in Congress has, of course, a big time connotation. That's what I should say. But it has to do with that thing like Republican versus Democrats. I don't think these elections are going to end well. I have a bad feeling about it since last year. And I'm talking about like since the summer, even before we went into elections, okay? So I do see that coming. And what happened today is exactly what I saw it was coming. Now, I've been saying this in Spanish, mostly on my Spanish videos. But I did speak about a war 7 months ago. That is still one of my main visions. Okay. I do see an economic crash coming in. All the market is gonna collapse badly. Okay. Um, I think what happened today has a lot to do with it too, because investors are not going to trust this country the same way anymore. Okay. Um, the country is becoming unstable, it's divided, and the democratic values of our country are really going down, either because of corruption on one side or the other. I mean, there are a whole bunch of things going on inside the political parties, and this has been going on for a while. Thank you for that like. People on Facebook are watching me. Um, and I did say, and I reacted to this situation in Spanish a while ago. So the video is already uploaded and it's there in YouTube. I will post the link sometime in the evening. I will be posting the links for you guys on Facebook to watch the video on on YouTube. Okay, so thank you. Um, like I was saying, I'm a psychic, and I've been a psychic since I was a child. Okay, so for those of you who do not know me and do not know my spiritual gifts, um, I didn't start yesterday. Okay, I started that I can recall. I was 7 years old. However, Dad says that I started earlier than that. I was much younger. He says I was like 4 or 5. Um, that he can recall. I don't remember. I do remember my 7 years old starting to become an empath and developing psychic abilities at that age, at the age of 7. So by the age of 7, I was already an empath with clairsens. I was a clairvoyant, and I had healing spiritual gifts. So I started reading the Bible at the age of 5, and I really liked it, and I still enjoy it and like it a lot. So when these spiritual gifts started showing up, my parents took care of it in terms of, taking me to church and giving me a religious education and all of that. So they wanted me to preserve my gifts in a godly way, okay? Which I did. And then I took care of that later on. I continued to develop other psychic abilities, and other spiritual gifts started showing up in my life. And then when I was an adult, I already had the whole 9 spiritual gifts that the Bible describes. And I became a psychic, a true psychic, for many years during my adulthood. And right now that I'm in the social media and all of that, I used to be in church a lot in the past, and only there I would show them and use them and demonstrate them and that kind of stuff, but not in the secular world or social media or anything like that. This has been going on like since last year, 2020, that I came out of the closet in those terms, with my spiritual gifts and letting people know that I'm a psychic. But I didn't start yesterday in 2020. I mean, I started over 40 years ago. Okay. So for those that think I'm a power-oriented gypsy from the Middle Ages, where I only think that spiritual gifts and that kind of stuff is for power, and that is a retrograde kind of attitude and that kind of thing. I would suggest you that you would have intense spiritual healing, because that's coming from a spiritual wound that has to do with religion. So I'm sorry to tell you that you have your discernment with a very distorted perception, and that you will only correct that distortion if you have spiritual healing. And spiritual healing has to do precisely with religion and dogma and doctrines and that kind of stuff. I've been through 2 processes of religious disintoxication, and I took out toxicity of religiosity many years ago, and it was quite painful, but I did it. I had to do it. If I wanted to continue to have my spiritual gifts pure, saintly, godly, and holy, I had to do that. That was part of the process. So therefore, I didn't come out in the social media until I was done with that process. That's why it took so long. It's not something that you heal from one day to another. It is a process. So by the time I started having international revelations and stuff like that, I was already in my 20s. And everything that I said last year on 2020, during 2020, I mean, I've been talking about the different things that I've been seeing and I've been shown in spiritual revelations. It had comes to pass. It comes to pass. It has been fulfilled in some way or another, but they are fulfilled. So I do know who I trust. I do know what kind of calling I have and who called me. So I have to obey the one who called me. And if he tells me a message and I have to give that message, it doesn't matter how fatal it might sound, I'm still going to give that message because it's the truth. I do believe in the absolute truth, and I obey that absolute truth. Okay? So I do not know the absolute truth from yesterday. Like I said, I've known him since the age of 5. And this is not ego-oriented or anything like that. I don't need that. The more humble you are, the more revelation you're going to receive, the more blessings, and the closer you are to the Creator. It is clear in the Psalms and in many parts of the Bible. He watches over the humble one, and I want him to watch over me. So one of the things that I said last night and the night before was about protection, and that we had protective energy in the environment, and that we should take advantage of that in the spiritual world and protect ourselves from disgrace that was coming in. So we had until last night for that protective energy. And since I know who watches over me, I went over to him. So once that happened, and it was over, then this disgrace in Congress went off like crazy. So for those of you who have been following me for a while, you know I've been talking about this for a while, since last year. For 2 nights in a row, I asked people to pray Psalm 91, pray Psalm 27. It's there on YouTube. You can refer to it. It's in the description box. And I was very precise and very specific regarding that protective energy. Okay. So I just want to let you know that divine timing does exist. It's not a myth. It is real. And when I said we had until last night and it was until yesterday, I meant what I was saying, and I knew I was saying the right thing. It was until yesterday. So today we have these riots and these horrible protests. It's not going to stop. It's been paused. Okay, police paused it. But these elections are not going to end well. Whether Joe Biden wins or Donald Trump wins, whoever wins is not going to end well. Because Republicans are going to protest against Democrats. And if it's backwards, it's Democrats that are going to protest against Republicans. That's the way it is. That's the way it's going to go. Okay? So protests are going to turn violent, unfortunately. And I do see deaths among civilians. The pandemic is also going to continue. We are going to have more deaths, more cases, and we're going to have a terrible, terrible economic crisis. Okay, I want you to get ready for that. I'm not saying this to panic you or just make you fearful or whatever. You know, I see it coming. It is coming sometime in the spring between April or May. However, May is a critical month this year. I want you to know that. May is a critical month this year. The first 3 months, the first trimester of this year, 2021, is going to be a hard one. And the recession, the economic recession, is going to worsen. Okay? So I want you to know that too. And I've been saying that. Now, I invite you to come over. Oh, you're welcome, Cindy. I invite you to come over to my Instagram and Twitter. I do post revelations every single day. Okay, I have a classmate saying that she's been very moved with what's going on and what I've been saying. Anyway, thank you for your comments, your positive feedback. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for following me. Thank you for trusting me and believing in me. I really appreciate the fact that you guys support me in that way. Okay. So, like I've been saying, I invite you to look into my other social network accounts because I do post revelations every single day. If you cannot speak Spanish, you can still press the button See Translation and the post will translate into your language so that you can understand and read what I'm saying. Okay. I will keep sharing my truth as it's revealed to me. And like I said, it's not to infiltrate fear over you or anything like that. I don't want you to panic or have an anxiety attack or anything like that. It's just for you to get ready, be prepared. Okay? Emotionally and physically, materialistically, everything. Okay? So I'll be stopping it here. If you have any questions or any feedback that you would like to share, any experience or anything that that you would like to share either in public or privately on Messenger or a private chat or whatever, you can do that, and I'll read you and I'll be giving you some kind of feedback about it. Okay, so thanks for watching. Thank you for being here with me, and it will be until the next one, which I don't know when that will be. However, I do have live videos every single night ever since this second lockdown started, just like the first lockdown. So you'll see them on my library in YouTube. You can refer to them, okay? So I'm trying to come out in some kind of live, usually in Instagram. It's hard for me to get into YouTube. I'll try to do it in YouTube again, but I'm not sure. I mean, Facebook. I'm gonna try to do it on Facebook, but I will be posting it on YouTube. I'll be uploading those videos, and you'll see all these videos in YouTube as of January 1st, when I started this second round of every single night of a live video for you guys to watch, listen, whatever, and that way you'll get ready for any eventuality, and also prepare yourself with prayer, meditation, however you cope with whatever method you have. Okay, so I'll be tomorrow again in Spanish. I'll be on a live video again, and I'll continue to do this until this second lockdown is over. Okay, it's part of my solidarity and support to other people in general, and also teaching whatever question comes up, whatever topic. It's more spontaneous than anything else. So I just go one day at a time. I'll let you go, guys. Thank you.